So yesterday we talked about how diverse the symptoms of Lyme can be because the Borrelia bacteria can settle in different tissues. So this is actually part 2. We covered 5 reasons yesterday. Today we're going to talk about symptom 6 through 10. So number 6 is muscle tenderness. So this is partly an inflammatory problem, partly just because the horse is protecting themselves. Basically, the body's tightening to sort of protect because they don't feel quite right internally. And sometimes it's really hard to put your finger on what exactly that is. Number 7 is your horse can have neurologic signs. So in some horses, the Borrelia actually affects the central or the peripheral nervous system. So the horse can be uncoordinated, can have proprioception problems, and just have problems with nerve transmission. And it can even cause violent spooking. I even saw one horse that developed this spookiness when standing in the cross ties. Once treated for Lyme, that went away. And of course, that ties into the next symptom. So symptom number 8 is just hypersensitivity. So the nervous system just becomes oversensitized, and stimuli that should normally not feel like any big deal end up having this exaggerated response because the system is like on edge all the time. The 8th one is a low-grade fever and just malaise. So it's like this ongoing immune response and activation, and the body's constantly responding to something, even though it's not a dramatic illness. It's just sort of low grade. It's just sort of festering. Number 9 is another weird one. It's eye inflammation, so uveitis. So the immune-mediated inflammation cause can actually trigger this inflammatory cascade in the sensitive tissues like the eye. So the big picture is this, that all these signs show up because Lyme's not localized to one particular area, and it a lot of times gets misdiagnosed or it doesn't get recognized in the beginning. So it becomes chronic, it becomes this chronic inflammation, multiple symptoms are affected. You've got joints, you've got connective tissue, you've got the nervous system, you've got the immune system, you've got things like their eyes and their back, and all these different areas and systems can be affected. And that's why it looks so inconsistent. That's why it's so hard to diagnose. That's why it's often mistaken for other problems and for multiple unrelated issues. And that's why it's so important to keep the horse's system strong, because almost every animal now and almost every human is being exposed to Borrelia, and you just don't want them to succumb to the long-term effects of it.